We got Terroru vs Khala next. Best of 5. Cash prize show match. So I'm excited about this. We pair up some of the semi-pro Koreans in our network against each other, but once in a while, they're online at the same time as some very good foreigners who participate in our Showmatch series. And one of them is Terroru. This is the first Terroru vs Khala show match. We organized it, and we're gonna get into it now. First game is on Polypoid. We got a 2500 MMR Protoss player on the bottom left. Khala, a gentleman, offering replays for subscriptions now. And Terroru on the top left. We organized this live. Some people pitched into the prize pool. Thank you very much. It was exciting. A lot of people were watching Terroru, cheering him on.
So all I know about this matchup is tank shirt and Dark Templars are evil.
We're in good company. Quark, S-rank Protoss player, very knowledgeable. He's going to hopefully not abandon us. And let us know what is going on in this PvT. I'm really interested because Khala's PvT I think is very strong. Probably stronger than his PvZ. I don't know about his PvP, guys. And Terroru's TVP is incredibly strong as well. Terroru's making a barracks outside of his main. And Khala's gonna scout that. I don't know if that's important or not. Well, if he can delay this barracks from getting built, I think he's gonna send a zealot to harass, right?
I'm not sure why that barracks is so up front, to be honest.
I'm not sure why Terrans don't block off anymore to prevent a zealot from harassing. That seems not to be a thing.
Usually you put a supply depot. Your first supply depot, the first barracks you put next to it. So you have a spot where Marines can run through, but zealots can't, and then you kite out the first zealot with that. That's how you defend that. What he's building right now, actually. The problem is the zealot can just kind of walk by.
Kind of go around, yeah. It's just blocking.
Yeah, but, it's fine.
And not making any more Marines is not that common anymore in TVP.
Like 2 or 3 Marines to defend.
So we got one zealot almost at Terroru's natural. 4 is halfway done. Here's a zealot. Let's see how much.
Yeah, so okay, he's blocking with the SUVs now. So he might actually lose an SUV repairing it. Loses 2 SCVs. I think this was very worth it so far.
Well, he's causing him to make more Marines. He's delaying, I guess, the command center.
This is great for Khala because this is meant, and this looked like it was meant to be a gas-less expand, but Terroru had to just transition into a regular expand.
Is this better to do as Terran instead of just walling off and not making any Marines?
Yeah, you can't wall off.
You can't wall off.
Okay, this is not looking good for Terroru.
Terra is really far behind already because he's gonna have nothing ready for when Dragoon gets there. He's going straight into machine shop tank, but his expansion is so late here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's what he was intending to do.
No, it's not. But he wasn't expecting to develop.
What was he intending to really do? Marine tank vulture push?
No, just take it.
No, he just wanted to take expansion.
Yeah, but when you're making that many Marines,
Look, everything
he has to make that many Marines.
The zealots going up.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because the person makes that lot. So this is why I was questioning this whole build strategy. It doesn't seem very viable.
Can't build anything else. But the
You
build is
don't
fine.
want to
The
be
problem
close
is
position first scouted and have them make zealots. It's what Terra is doing is build that you do when it's all gone wrong.
Hmm.
This isn't what he wanted to do. This is just where he's at.
Well, it's been looking pretty good for Khala, I guess. I think he's looking for his third, maybe, soon? Or it might be a scouting probe.
No, he's just making sure that he's ahead. He knows how much damage he's done. He's just verifying that his understanding of the game is correct.
Makes sense. He doesn't have any minerals to expand again.
oh,
doesn't
is he
need
gonna lose that tank? Please don't lose that tank.
Yes, he is.
Ah! So rough.
Well, I was gonna say I'm not sure why Terroru's moving out, but that makes sense. Oh my god. Killed an Ursidon.
Murder!
Terra's going to take a hidden exam because he knows how far behind he is.
And yeah, I guess that's what they call a ninja expansion. He's taking his natural as well. You know what? This Vulture Harass is doing more than I expected. Khala's not really...
Khala just tried to snipe the mines, but it's a difficult thing to do. There was this one clip of Bisu, how he snipes
Ouch.
mines with dragoons. So insane. Like between microing to snipe a mine, the guy builds a probe while he's microing.
Okay, so he took care of those vultures.
Khala has actually missed every single mine snipe he tried there. Like every time he went for a mine snipe, he took a mine against like 3 against.
If he makes one wrong move, there is a mine that's in the mineral line. It's natural, but it's got an observer. Okay.
I think day 9 showed that clip off.
So right now, Khala thinks he's ahead because all of that time, Terra wasn't making tanks, wasn't making SCVs, wasn't making or didn't make SCVs constantly, didn't develop his tactical. There's no armory, there's no +1 coming. What Khala doesn't understand is that there's a ninja expansion. But even though the vultures were delaying the probe main hard, Khala was still making probes at home, and he was just going to transfer them over when the observer was done. So Khala's ahead here, and he knows he's ahead.
Well, I guess if you want to make a ninja expansion, the 3 o'clock seems to be Terroru's preferred position.
Yeah, and it's a good play to take that ninja expansion. When the early game goes as badly for you as Terroru's early game did go, it makes perfect sense to just say, okay, well, I'm going to take 3 o'clock and hope for the best.
Oof.
Boss's observer. Turret's going up, so he might not get another one in there.
And the turret's going up is going to be important because Khala's best cue that something is wrong will be what Terra isn't doing. Okay, if he doesn't have the observer there, then he's not going to understand that he's behind. He might just sit on 3 bases against what he thinks is 2 bases for a long time, only to get rolled by mass units from 3 bases.
Interesting, he's not opting to go to the main from his base. I guess he wants to go to the natural.
And he knows there are turrets, and also he doesn't think he needs to harass to win. He thinks he needs to contain with the Reaver to win.
Ooh.
Where did that Reaver shot go?
I don't know what the percentage of Scarabs hitting their targets is. Is it like lower than 50%, guys?
So I
swear.
think that Scarab did actually hit the target. The problem is that Scarabs have areas of damage. They have 100% hit and 50% hit. I think it's 25. So he got 50% hit, which is 50 damage. And as we all know, SCVs have like 500 hit points, so he didn't manage to kill him.
Thank you for pointing that out. I do notice some of their HP. I've never actually checked. Whenever I saw workers not dying, I mistakenly assumed that the Scarab didn't hit. Has Terroru gotten his value out of this ninja expansion? Just collecting
He's
minerals.
Getting value, but Khala is on 4 bases now.
Should he have gotten a gas?
I think we're in a decently even position right now, actually. I mean, Terror is behind like 12 workers though.
2 Reavers in the shuttle.
Well, Terra's just going all in here. He's just going for mass factory push of 3 bases.
I think in these positions, that would be strong.
I mean, Pirate, you're right, but on the other hand,
Oh, he scouted the
there's
ninja
people saying
expansion.
that could be grandparents right now. Sure, but
So Khala sees the 3 o'clock expansion. And he's headed there with his Reavers. But I think the Vultures are going to lay down a bunch of mines. Turrets going up.
Oh shit.
I mean, that was really risky of Khala to do.
But one weird thing about this game is that what Terra was effectively telegraphing was that he was going 2 base all in. And that's what he was telling Khala to counter. Whereas actually he was going 3 base all in with a hidden expansion, but it's got the same counter. So what Terra was telling Khala to do is what actually works against what Terra's currently doing.
Alright, my apologies. I missed a Templar Storm drop. Looking at the SCV count, I think he did get some.
I think Terra could win this.
yeah, I think so too.
Like they're close position, there's no arbiters, there's a few shuttles, but I don't know if he's got enough.
Okay, here we go.
It's a lot of tanks.
No, he's got legs too.
One quick storm, but
He's gonna take this.
kills the army.
Yeah, Terra has the factory count behind this, he can win this.
Yeah, he's reinforcing with vultures, couple tanks. Kill him!
He's bringing the SCVs. He's going to start making buildings. Go it. He's got him. He's taken this.
Yeah. 1 or 2 good storms can still save him.
No, there's valid
Yeah.
units coming in.
Oh, we got a GG from Khala. He did. I didn't know if he was just gonna pump out units and miraculously break. Terroru takes game 1 from Khala.
Losing those 2 Reavers like that was not ideal. And I think the Storm drop might have been a mistake too, because that Storm would have been much more useful against the push. Like, Khala was in a position where he wins either by holding the push or by doing economic damage. But the price of doing the economic damage was making it so he couldn't hold the pushes easily. So he didn't need to do the harass to win the game. But doing the harass cost him a tool that he wanted in order to win the game, if that makes sense.
Thank you very much for your commentary. Game 2 on Eclipse. 1-0 for Terroru. I think going into this game, Khala's thinking, hey, this foreigner can beat me. I better get my stuff together and try to win the show match.
I mean, it was a ninja expand.
You think that's what gave Terror the win?
Yeah, it was exact. It was completely the ninja expand.
That's
Like,
interesting
look at what
how...
happened before the ninja expand. What happened was Terra tried to do a gasless expand and he got wrecked.
I figured a few SCVs, mining, minerals. He wasn't getting a gas early on, but it did help his economy for all those minutes.
Plus, it killed 2 Reavers.
Can't ask more from a ninja expand than that. Bring you the game and 2 Reavers.
It was completely the right decision from Terra, though. I don't want to take anything away from him. Like, he identified the situation he was in, and he realized the correct way to win it was to take a ninja expand. He did it, and it worked. Like, it was smart, and it was the right play, and it paid off.
And the ninja expand is something that each race could do in any matchup to try to come back. Kind of like a Hail Mary.
Yeah. And you wouldn't want to do it in like a ZVZ, I think, just because your opponent will know that there's a hatchery missing because they have an overlord over your base. Yeah.
And it only makes sense if you're down. I mean, there are people who try to just get away with a ninja expand as part of their build before they're disadvantaged, which actually disadvantages them sometimes.
Yeah, if you get it scouted and you get it denied, then you're far behind. So it's a percentage play that you do because you think that if it gets scouted, well, you're going to lose the game anyway. There's no cost to it if you're already so far behind that the only way you can win is with a ninja expand, because the situation if it gets scouted is the same as the situation is where you didn't do it. You're going to lose the game, but that's already taken into account. That's already happening either way.
Khala loves his Zealot harass. Is he gonna get both SCVs like last game? Nope. Just trying to get up there to attack the Marines. Couldn't. 1 HP, almost dead. If you're playing PvT, is there a scenario where your opponent makes a bunker just to fake an expansion?
There is, but you normally poke him with the Dragoon just to confirm the CC.
I'm assuming Khala knows or thinks that this is a fast expand build. He's gonna send his Dragoon back. Maybe. Well, he's got one at home. He went to his third. I wonder if he's worried about a vulture going there to lay down a mine or something to prevent him from expanding.
He's just doing a sweep for proxies, I think. It's all the common proxy locations, just making sure there's nothing there.
Thanks for clearing that up. It makes more sense than my theory there. Proxy factory.
I think probably a proxy starport would be what they'd put there, because that way you send the vultures across the map immediately, and then you get the much quicker
Oh, you
drop.
get the drop ship?
Yeah.
That sounds like something Terroru would do.
Gypsy's done that to me before.
And Terry's gonna move out with some Marines and a tank. Or not.
Question is, will he be ready for the Volt drop? Because his first observer is going to get there after the dropship's already made, and the starport's kind of hidden. So what we should see is the observer cross the map and find the starport around the same time as the vultures are being dropped into his main, which isn't actually very useful for the there.
This observer's in time, right?
It's in time for the build he did, because he made Zealots before he took his Nexus and then expanded. The vultures missing this probe is kind of bad.
I wouldn't put it past them. They might make their way there. Finally got an observer moving
He was
across.
thinking that it hadn't been sent yet.
Yeah, you're probably right.
If you look, the dropship's going around the top left corner now, and the observer's crossing the map, so the observer's going to find the starport, but it's going to be too late.
Terry has put up some turrets, worried about Reavers, I think. Khala's observer just died in Terry's main.
Here comes the airplane. Oh.
I mean, he's got a nice little building placement, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was very good.
It strikes me as a risky build that Terry did, because if your drop doesn't pay off as much, it sets you back a little bit. Or a lot.
It's not super risky. You can still transition into a 2-1 timing. If you need the starport for the science facility for timing anyway, but it's you can't do anything like the third basis thing. You're stuck going for your 2-1 timing push. Although with a +3 factory now, I'm looking at. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's just going to be going to do a +1 push. And never mind, this is just like 6 fucking go for it.
Here's his drop at Khala's natural.
Dragoons everywhere. Nice.
I don't know that was a good idea because Khala saw the vulture at the bottom right. He knew that was on its way. With no observer in Heather's NATO, Khala doesn't know what's coming. We've got a plant sitting now. This is weird. I don't know what's coming either. If he builds a second army, it's a 2-1, but this appears to just be a 6-pack, 2-base, +1 time push that also has a sand facility. And I guess also in that case a vessel.
What's a Wraith for?
For messing with shuttles.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay, we're getting a second army. This is 2-base 2. I don't like Terra's build at all now. This isn't going to work. Basically, he's going to be on 2-base against 3-base for an entire year, and by the time he pushes out, it's not going to make a difference. But he's on. The game's going to be over before he pushes. He's also not getting his +2, which is, there we go. Okay, now he's getting it.
It's interesting that Khala made a robotics bay later on. I don't know if we'll see Reavers. Maybe for speed shuttles, huh?
Yeah, Khala
Not
likes that
Reavers.
speed shuttle style. He's getting Storm, he's getting shuttle speed. So yeah, it looks like Khala's going to be playing that style, which he does enjoy. And he's good at it. Okay, now Terra's adding a third CC. This is not optimal. Like, he could have held a third CC off of 3 factories like 5 minutes ago. Instead, he went for 6 factory science facility, and then he decided he's going to change it up and take another base. He could go for like a big early push or a eco style, and he's chosen to try one then the other.
Well, Terry, you maybe not committing to one strategy.
I think had he tried just going for the push, it probably wouldn't have worked. So I don't know that it's any better to just invest in going in that direction and put out it. I think just take the loss. I guess.
It almost seems Khala overestimated him this game. He has quite a bit of defense. He's been macroing a lot.
Well, no, Khala read what he was up against, and he's just playing the counterbuild. He's just playing it safe and solid.
Seems very defensive this game. I mean, he has a sizable army, almost maxed. I think he can go and bust.
But what is there to bust is the thing. Terra hasn't taken another base.
Oh, here we go.
But there's nothing for him to bust. He's already won if nobody does anything.
Oh, those storms.
Yeah. Like, there was no reason for Khala to do anything but defend because Terra hadn't done anything that worth attacking for Khala.
Oh, there's no way he's holding this. Khala's
Yeah,
got it.
this is over. But if with Khala not, or with Terra not taking the third base, there's nothing for Khala to attack. Like, if you're on 3 bases against 2 proposals against Terra, you can wait on that all day. Like, let the Terra mine out if he wants to.
Khala ties it up 1-1 in this best of 5. Next map is Circuit Breakers. I'm joined by Bernie and Quark. If you want to co-cast with us, hop in. Hang out.
The thing is, Bernie is insanely tired and is probably going to sleep now.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Oh, sorry. Good night.
Never apologize. Sweet dreams.
Thanks for having me. So this is Circuit Breakers, PvT, close positions. I would anticipate probably another gasless from Terra. Terra does seem to like the gasless on 4-player maps.
interesting pylon position.
Yeah, it just improves the middle halving slightly because the probe wants to go up to the bottom middle of the nexus. If you
Yeah.
place a pylon there, then it will go the short route.
Is PBT your strongest matchup, Gork?
I think it's probably the matchup I understand the best. I'm pretty comfortable with these days.
Do you enjoy the matchup more than the other ones?
I mean, Terran is still bullshit, but you know, I feel like I know what I'm doing at least.
What do you mean Terran is bullshit?
A siege tank shoot like halfway across the screen and vultures plus 25 numbers and do more damage than any other unit in the game.
So you don't buy the Terran is underpowered argument?
I mean, Terrans say that in a TVT. It's the Terrans are never not complaining about balance.
It's as good as it gets. Guess we should just be happy with it.
The Khala not going for Zealot this game, which makes sense because it's a big map, and Terra not going for the Gasless, not doing what I thought he would do. Just going for a factory expand. Actually, never mind. 2-pack. Got 2 probes on SVs on gas. It's either a mistake or this is a fake. I think this might be a fake though. I think this could be a Terra. Yep, Terra's faking it. Question is, what is he doing behind the fake? Is it going to be a second factory or starport? Second factory. You know how last game you asked if it's ever, if Terra's ever.
This is exactly what he's doing.
Exactly. Yep. And if any Terra's going to do it, Terra's going to do it.
And it works because there's no probe in his base to see
Except the
the
probe just ran in.
SCVs mining gas.
You know how Khala just suicided the probe? Like,
You think
10
that
seconds ago.
tipped him
Yeah.
off?
Yeah, that was exactly what he was checking. So, like, Khala doesn't just randomly grab his probes and run them into bunkers. He was checking the CC timing, and he was confirming that there's no CC there.
Is that why he added another gateway, or he would have done that regardless?
He'd done that anyway, but he knows what's up with the game, I think.
Nice block.
Is he building a Vobo? I don't think he is building a Vobo. No. Okay, so I like the not building a Vobo here. If so, look, he just checked 9 o'clock. He's looking around the map, and that's because he knows there's no CC. He's like, okay, what's this guy doing to me? Checking 3 o'clock, see if there's a hidden CC again.
Why the no robo?
He did get the Robo, he just went to the gate first. I think he just wanted to make sure he has extra Dragoon. Yeah, he checks 3 o'clock, he's checking top right. Like, Khala knows something's fishy.
I mean, this build that Terran is doing, shouldn't it be more powerful than Protoss because he grabbed the expansion? Terran's going around to avoid detection.
No, 2-pack is actually kinda not great because you don't. The thing that makes Terran strong is the upgrades and the fact that the units get more powerful the more of them you have. An early push for Terran units only really works as a surprise, and there is no surprise here, so it's not going to work. Watch. And the tanks are going to really damage. Okay, this is doing better than I thought. He needs more SCVs though. He needs to be repairing these. Like, those tanks are, one of them basically dead, and the other one is going to be dead soon. He needs to repair them. Never mind.
Ouch.
He's got it. He's done it.
Still 23
Khala,
probes.
I'm disappointed. Khala, you saw this was coming, and now he's repairing the tank. So Khala got one of the tanks down with one hit away from dying, and then didn't finish it. He pulled his dragoons back. I think what he needed to do was to get.
Got
some
his
tanks
observer.
back on the side. Yeah, and he doesn't. But the thing is, Terror's already done a lot of damage.
Is he gonna
doesn't
lose his
choose
Nexus?
Looks like he is, yeah. Siege is on the way too.
Oh, he's gonna go out.
Oh, he's held it.
No?
If he shoots the Nexus with those tanks. He's not shooting the Nexus. Oh, that was foolish.
Oh, is it gonna shoot the Nexus?
He's shooting the pylon. You need to shoot the Nexus.
He got the Nexus.
6 work advantage for Khala though, and they're both on 1 base apiece. Yeah, Khala's going to clean up with the Reaver, I think. Even so, though, I'm disappointed. So with Dragoons against a 2-pack, if you just get any Dragoons attacking from a side angle, and you can just kill the tanks. Like what you do, if you have something like 5 Dragoons, you have 2 Dragoons at the front, just like staggering in front of the Marines, pulling back, shooting, and then 3 Dragoons come from the side and kill the tanks. Once the tanks are dead, Terran actually doesn't have anything.
Terry suspects a Reaver drop? Is that why he's taking his tanks into his base?
Yeah, he knows what the Reaver. He saw the shuffle. He knows what's up. But he had vultures inside Khala's base. He saw the support bay too.
CC and Nexus are both 50% done.
And Terra's recovered some of the SCV deficit. He was down 6 workers, he's only down 2 now. This harass is doing quite a lot. But that's a lot of mining time damage, even without looking at the SCV losses. Yeah, I mean, look at the supply. Terra's, Kala's doubles the supply. I think a lot of this just comes back to Khala sending the probe in past the bunker, knowing that it wasn't coming back, but knowing that 50 minerals that the probe cost was worth getting the confirmation of the effect.
I wonder what Terroru's build can do beyond just killing the expansion.
I think if Khala hadn't confirmed what the build was, he could have been in trouble against it. It was just quite disciplined play from Khala, where he made sure he knew exactly what he was up against before he decided on his build. Terra hasn't actually built any more workers since he expanded. He's just gone pure factory units. Like 24 SCVs and like killed those with the push, so it's really 22 SCVs. He's got less than 1 power crystal. This one pusher there.
I like the area that Terroru is tanked from. Smart.
I'm surprised Khala's still making so many workers. I think Khala doesn't realize how all in his opponent is. He's like in this situation, I'd be making nothing but gateways and units out of gateways.
It's risky, but I wonder if it just puts him ahead more if he gets more workers. As long as he
No,
keeps his
'cause he doesn't
macro
need
up.
he doesn't need more workers to win. He needs to survive to win. Anything that doesn't help him survive right now is putting him behind. Like at this point, the value of the extra workers is that you can send them to your third base. When you take a third base, you can just main armor quickly. But that's not a thing that's happened in this game. This game, he doesn't need to win by being able to oversaturate his third base. This is really good. He cut off Terroru's army from reinforcements. The more tanks you get in one place, the more powerful they are. But if Terror can't combine his tanks into one group, then these tanks are just going to get isolated and picked off.
Seemed like he had a bigger advantage, but still ahead.
It seemed like he had a big advantage.
Khala? He lost a
I mean,
few
he
units,
had
I
massive
think.
units
to
against
his
tanks
attack.
on high ground. It was tricky.
Yeah, it was nicely done by Terroru. Got a DT.
Yeah, that DT can just actually kill everything there by itself. There's no damage.
Okay, Terroru has nothing back at home to stop this.
He has recovered the worker effort though. I'll took my advice and stop building workers while Terra decided that he was going to stop being all in and go up to 34 workers himself.
Ooh. No detection. Is this the end of Terroru?
This is the end.
Not giving up. Oh, he's got quite a few tanks going back home. 27 SCVs, 26. Khala has 10 more workers. Lost his dragoons. But he's still ahead. He doesn't have a third though.
I mean, he's 96 to fly to 36. He's fine. He's got this one.
And he's going for it.
Like,
Terroru
if
is
this
not
was one of my
sieged.
games, I'd be building scouts by this point.
Because you got it in the bag or because scouts are such badass units?
Both valid reasons.
Mutually compatible. Oh, that mine. Khala
I
did it.
like how the Vax was just holding his arm up, but he still killed the Vax and got in time. Dragoons are so fucking stupid.
This was a back and forth game. Kala's ahead 2-1.
Like, the shuttles dropped the Zealots then just to open up a gap, while the Dragoons are meant to be rushing in behind them. But the Dragoons are like, hold on, we're gonna kill this Vax. Give us a minute. Every fucking PvT, Dragoons just love that barracks.
Next game is on Fighting Spirit. Let's see if Terroru can tie it up 2-2.
Fighting Spirit feels like a good map for Terra to me. I don't know that Terra's going to win because Khala's really good, but that easy to take third base with the that you can wall up and put siege tanks on. That feels like it will be good for. Although it looks like Khala's going to do a maybe 9 gated natural.
That pylon placement, that says gateway in the match with me. That means if Terra goes to a gas dust, he's going to have a bad time.
Have you ever heard some people say that Fighting Spirit is a Protoss map?
Are any of those people Protoss players?
It's a good question. Usually not, right? Sounds more like a complaint than an observation. Do you think it's a fairly balanced map?
I think it's got issues in terms of how easy it is for players to take a quick regas and then camp on that forever.
And that advantages all races equally, or?
No, I think it makes it very difficult to play against the quick free base 2-1 170 supply power and push.
Yeah.
So Khala's doing Zealot, Core, Zealot again. Never mind, he's not. He's doing Zealot, Core, Zealot. So just the two Zealot. However, it looks like Terra's rule is going to be pretty solid against this. Terra is playing it safe. He's got the building placement he needs. He should take little to no damage from the Zealots. Like, this kind of building there is exactly why I don't like going Zealot, because you walk in, you're like, oh, they know what they're doing. Okay, well, I guess I do no damage. Like, look at that. What are you going to do? Yeah, he gives up and walks home.
It's
It
low
does nothing.
fortification.
Doesn't even need the vulture. Like, Terra knows how good his layout is. Oh, and then immediately free PSV's back on the gas with the Marines denying the vultures with Pro Scout. If Khala sees this is huge. It looks like he's going to.
Oh, is he gonna get the machine shop?
One Marine is going to take several years to get a Zealot.
And he's getting a tank because he needs an answer to a Dragoon soon, right?
Yeah.
Vulture.
The Vulture can clean up the Zealots, but the Zealots aren't what you're worried about. It's the unit you're worried about. How much health does the machine shop have?
Surprised he wasn't repairing it.
And he couldn't get to it just now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Terra should have taken his SVs off gas at this point. He's kind of fucked up. He's been busy.
Oh,
But
his
he
tank
needed
got
to-
misrallied there. Didn't leave with his Marines.
So it looks like he's not repairing his machine shop. Yeah, Terra does not want 250 gas at this point in the game. He's just lost track of what to do.
Keep an eye on that machine shop, see if it burns down. This tank might get hit.
Oh, this might go so good. Okay, this game's over. Terra taking command center, but he can't hold it. He's about to lose the machine shop. He's not even going to be able to make tanks anymore.
Machine shop is gone. So that was totally
Like, Terra's gonna go
unintentional.
back to his base and be like, wait a second. So there's ranged dragoons and I can't make tanks. Also, I have 400 gas and I don't know why. Like, he hasn't built a second factory. He hasn't built a third port. He can't even make tanks, and he's still got 3 SCVs on gas. This is just a fuck up. He was planning to do something, and then a bunch of dragoons and zealots went into his base, and then it all went to shit.
Making a second machine shop. Well, at 6
Why
o'clock.
does he still have 3 SCVs on gas? Like, what is he gonna buy that takes all this gas? Is this gonna be like a Battle Cruiser Rush? Like, what build is he hoping to do here?
Worker count is similar. Khala, worried about a drop?
I mean, Khala saw the 3 SCVs on gas. Khala knows that it's a quick starport. The problem is that Terra didn't know it was a quick starport. It's quite a confusing game in that regard.
Reaver's almost coming out. At what point do you want to get gas as Protoss? It's your natural.
Depends on the build you're doing. I take it quite early when I go 2 base quick guard. But Khala seems to favour the Reaver into speed guard as well. So I don't actually know the answer to that because I don't know that build very well.
Shuttle's going an interesting route. Maybe trying to avoid detection at 6 o'clock.
How with the free factory? He's just going for +1 tank. Nicely done with the Reaver to be honest. Oh yeah, this is doing a lot.
Ouch!
This is doing so much.
2 tanks, some SCVs, few Marines.
Question is whether Khala has read this correctly. Because Terra is just going to place his factories with a bunch of units, and then when +1 is finished, he's just going to rush across the map. He might not even bother. Okay, he's got the academy, so his entire defense for DTs is just going to be a few scans. He's going to build turrets, I suspect, with his push, and just try and close it out with getting the tanks and the vultures right up on the bridge. Because once you take the bridge, then the game is kind of hard to play as Terra, post Protoss. And Khala will not have Zealot speed in time. Khala's going to have to hold this with Dragoons and Reaver.
As Protoss, you think it's tough when you're in these spawning positions against Terran next door?
Yeah, close positioning against Terran is difficult, and close positioning against Terran, where your natural third, which in this case is 6 o'clock, is the base you cannot actually ever take because you can't hold it. It's difficult. Like, it's better when you can take 3 bases on your side of the bridge, kind of. That makes sense. In this situation, Khala can only take 2 bases on his side of the bridge. The third base is always going to be out on the map. And here comes the push. Yeah, it's just going to be turrets the entire way, mines the entire way. And it's not that long. And you can do 5-pack and you can just siege and mine the entire way across the map. 34 SCB to 54. Khala needs to start making workers. He doesn't need more workers. It's the same situation as last game. Where
Pretty good
he
supply.
wins if he holds the point. There's no difference between surviving and winning. They're the same thing at this point. All we need to do is survive.
Feels like Terroru has a small army to be pushing out like this, but I guess he's got to do something.
I mean, it's Terran army. It's really efficient.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dragoons. No Zealots yet?
He just lost a bunch of Dragoons to mine. Never mind.
A Reaver for a tank.
Look at the way he's setting up these mines the entire length of the push for the flank. He knows there's a flank over there, but He's aware that the Dragoons will have to chew through the minefield first, and it takes him a long time to do so. This is very good. This flank is very good. And Lex is about to finish. And Khala has a lot of gateways now. Khala's gateway count has caught up.
Looking a little scarier for Khala. Losing a
Yeah,
few
and that's a really
dragons.
difficult push to stop. The fact that he's cut off reinforcements so it's kind of huge because these tanks are gonna need vultures to just suicide in front of the company to keep them alive.
I don't know if Terroru is extending himself a little too far though into his natural.
And Terroru has to. This is how Terroru wins the game. If Terroru doesn't do this, then there's no point being in the game.
A lot of Zealots being made.
Yeah, and there's no more vultures. That's the issue right now, is that the vultures need to be flooding across the map to spot the tanks. The 4 tanks will get it done eventually if you keep them alive, which means vultures constantly being traded. No vultures and the tanks are going to die. And
He
that's
broke
you.
free. Ouch.
Yeah, those are some pretty good mine hits, but it doesn't matter. Look at the supply.
Oh, Khala's gonna clean it up. There's a GG from Terroru.
Need more hidden expansions.
Yeah, that might have worked out for him. We're back in a similar situation as game 1.
I think it's probably the kind of thing you pull off once per series.
So Khala won 3-1.